Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm actually going to talk about a software that I think that everybody should try when learning PLC programming, so on and so forth. So, we have a software here called Factory IO. This software is free for 30 days of the 30-day trial. And after that, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think it's anywhere from $40 to $60 a month, maybe. But this software is extremely good. Basically, you can make your own, honestly, your own plant production setting. You have conveyors, you have little, like control panels here with switches and, buttons that actually work. It's live simulation. And also, you can utilize free software, PLC software. So in our case, I'm referring to the RSLogix500. And I believe the only thing that you need is an actual real life PLC that can be bought for $100 or $200. But I think I have seen people use the emulator over here. I think I've seen people use RSLogix Emulate to um, also to run Factory IO. So Factory IO is really cool because if I come over here to my drivers, you can see here I have my actual host IP address. This is the IP address of my PLC. And you can see on each side I have sensors and actuators, or inputs and outputs. Um, in my case, I have them set up as kind of, the B inputs, and then of course normal outputs. But you can also make these true inputs if you want. And you can change the name, you can add some, and of course, you can see with the 30-day trial at first, you can get access to the Siemens here, Modbus, and then of course your Allen Bradley, so your Micro 800s, your Logix 5000s, and then of course your MicroLogix. In my case, I'm using MicroLogix 1100. From there, you can actually connect it, and at that point, you can actually run a true simulation. So in one of these programs, we have a two-way sorter program that sorts boxes based on height. So if the boxes are taller, I have this programmed where they'll go to the left. And of course, if they're shorter or if it's just a pallet, I can actually take one of these boxes off. So if I'm going to pause this, I can take one of these boxes off and it'll also shift the same way. So we're going to go ahead and watch this simulation run, and I'll kind of explain what's going on. So you can see we're loading some boxes in here. As the boxes come in from the conveyor entry, they get loaded, and then at that point they get dispersed either left or right. You can see, if I zoom in, these actually go left or right. And of course, when it's going off, these boxes will wait. These boxes will continue to wait until the conveyor turns back on. But also, I don't want to keep these two conveyors, the conveyor right and conveyor left. I do not want to keep those on the whole entire time. So I have it programmed to where they actually power off as the boxes are being sorted. I know some of y'all are already familiar with Factory IO. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly go over my actual program, and I'll kind of show you how I did this. I'm going to screw up this slow so you can always go back and look at it. You'll notice a couple things immediately, so don't judge too hard. You'll notice that I don't have any stop buttons in. I don't have any start buttons in. I don't have any emergency stops. I don't have any of the safety precautionary stuff in here. I will add those later on. The main idea is I wanted to get this working. So basically the main idea is as long as my input 00 is on, which is my run simulation, this is actually a switch that I have sitting next to my PLC. So as long as that's energized, the pallet is not loaded, the left conveyor is not on, and the right conveyor is not on, then the main conveyor will turn on. With that being said, as soon as a pallet sensor is sensed or energized, we will actually load If you can see here, our load is actually right here. This is our load signal. So there's that. And of course, we can see this better here, but you see I have a load signal here that will actually, if I force it, it'll actually load. But that being said, I have it loading. Of course, as soon as as soon as it loads, it will latch itself in, and it will stay latched in until another pallet is loaded. At this point, we have a left entry, and then we have a at right entry. And basically what these do is these just turn on timers of 1 second so that we can continue the boxes going down the conveyor belt at a good speed. Next, we have our high sensor here that latches in on a timer. And anytime this high sensor is energized, it'll turn on this timer that has a preset of 5. And it'll stay on until that timer is done. At this point, when the pallet is loaded and this timer here is enabled, or it's actually timing up, then we'll actually transfer the box to the left. Once it transfers left, we will latch that in, and it'll continue the transfer left until the timer T40 is done. So T40 here, as soon as it's not done, which means once the left entry is on. Same thing for the right, just reverse. So you got the pallet loaded, the transfer to the right, which is this actual transfer signal is this guy here. This is for these little kind of chain belts here. This doesn't refer to the actual conveyor left and right. This is just a transfer to actually scoot the pallet off of this little load riser that we have here that is provided to us. Next, once that's done, when it's at the left entry and it is transferring left, or at least transfer left 1 time, the left conveyor will turn on and it will latch in until that transfer left is deactivated. And of course, we'll do the same thing when the right, at the right entry. So the right entry will energize, it'll transfer right, it'll latch in until until the transfer light signal is no longer energized. So hopefully that kind of shows you factory I/O and the capabilities. There's a lot more that you can do in this. But please let me know if you have any questions or if you have any recommendations on what you see from my program. Is there an easier way I could have done this? Please let me know. But other than that, thank y'all so much, and I hope you have a good day.